Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ebony Janice. I go by Ebony Janice, which means that you should call me Ebony Janice. And I'm here today apparently to talk about what Ifa taught me about love. I'm so intrigued sometimes by the notes that I created for this 100-day challenge because apparently when I created the notes, I decided that I was telling my business. It's not real life. So let me figure out how I'm going to get through this. Okay, so I loved real hard once. That's not what I came here to say. Actually was in a relationship and got a mirror Odu. And in Ifa, basically an Odu is you get a divination, you get a divination done, and it's called a Dafa reading. And my Dafa reading that came back had a particular Odu. And let's say that the Odu was Otoropon Ogbe. This wasn't what it was, but let's just say that's what it was. Otoropon Ogbe. So Otoropon on the right, Ogbe on the left. And that's how the divination comes through. And so the information that you get is, the Dafa, the Odu that came for you is Otoropon Ogbe. So I get this reading, Otoropon Ogbe. I go through all this conversation with my Babalao. And at the end of the conversation, I'm asking him to help me interrogate something that is happening in this particular relationship. And in the relationship, my beloved had gotten a Dafa reading for us a few weeks earlier. It was for him, but a part of the conversation that came up was about us. And so his Odu that came for him was Ogbe Otoropon. Okay? Neither of these is the true Odu. I'm just not trying to tell all the business. But Otoropon Obe, me, 2 weeks earlier, Ogbe Otoropon. When he really broke it down when my Babalao responded to that, he said, "You mean the mirror Odu that just came for you?" And I was like, well, yeah. And so the number one thing that I want to say that Ifa has taught me about love is that love is not just two people facing in the same direction. Usually love is two people with a mirror, two people coming from different directions and mirroring each other, mirroring issues, mirroring like our heartache, mirroring our fears. We just become a mirror for each other. And so that is one really profound lesson that I really appreciate that Ifa has taught me, particularly just with this example, this Otoropon Ogbe Otoropon, like this mirror Odu come up that both of us had things that Ifa wanted to reveal to us about ourselves, and separately we came to these Odus that are in relationship with each other, but are not exactly the same. The number two thing that this particular Odu taught me is that that Ifa has taught me through this particular Odu experience, receiving these Odus, is that love is not consuming. Love is not just about consuming. Love is actually about being able to hold a thing. Because one of the stories that came up in this particular Odu was about how Olukun's wife was Olukun needed to go out to collect rats for this sacrifice for Ebo. And so he's collecting the rats, and his wife, one day they are hungry and all they have is these rats that he's been collecting for his Ebo. And in the Odu, there are other entities that their wife is like, well, we could just cook a couple, whatever. But there's a particular amount that Olukun is supposed to be collecting. And so Olukun goes to his wife, she's like, we're hungry. And she says, we're not cooking these rats, this is your Ebo. And so that what's really profound about that is it's this lesson of like, you're in this mirror relationship and there is love here and you're supposed to just be holding, not just consuming. You're supposed to be holding space for what is possible. So the ability to say, okay, we're going to be hungry. We're going to go through this. We're going to, navigate this, and it's going to be difficult, but I will not allow you to, I will not cook these rats. I will not put us in a position where you cannot do the full Ebo. You cannot make the full sacrifice, because I care as much about our spiritual maturity and where we're headed as I care about what we got going on. Like, I want us to survive, but I want us to be spiritually mature at the same time. So it's not just consuming, let's just cook these rats, we'll be okay, we can just cook a few and just take the rest and give that as an offering. It is, no, I'm holding this, I'm holding the line, I'm holding what we stand for, I'm holding what we say. So Ifa taught me that in this experience. And the number three thing that I want to say that Ifa has taught me is that love is really about being able to sit in silence sometimes. Because often what is being birthed is gestating. And a thing that is gestating is usually gestating in the dark. So sometimes we're going through things in relationships and we want to, like, when I say we, I mean me. We want to talk it through. We want to run around. We want to touch around. We want to get back up and work it on down. And this particular Odu really taught me, like, actually, you just need to be able to be quiet sometimes. You need to be able to sit and let spirit work. And so there's such a level of, like, spiritual maturity that being in a relationship as a more spiritually mature person, and particularly inside of this practice, inside of Ifa, inside of this tradition, that I realize how much this tradition really has taught me, really has called me to a maturity, really has called me to a purification, and really has called me to a growing up. And there's so much wisdom that comes from just paying attention to how divinations come. The divination may not even be about a particular thing, and then you find out that there are 25 other things that it really could apply to as well. And applying it to your life is transformative. That was a cute way for me to not tell on my business.